Out of joy and so much happiness, the second wife of Nzechi'Ka'Obu, whose name is Uruakachi, the one you know as Rahel, gave his son, when he gave birth to his real first son, the one that came out of her womb. You know, the first two were given birth to by his handmaid. That is the man you call Iduane and the one you call Onafutalim. Iduane is the fifth, Onafutalim is the sixth. Yeah, so finally she was able to give birth to her own biological son. And out of so much joy, she said, he actually shall act to me another son. Na Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha. Na Chukwu-Okike-Ga-Emezurum'Epha, which is the name of the man that lied to you that his name is Joseph. I want to tell you, nobody was born Joseph. That is not true. In fact, just look at it. The letter J was introduced in 1524. 1524 to today, 2025, is just 500 years. And we are talking about the people who lived 4,000 years ago. There was no letter J 4,000 years ago. So please, when they tell you about Joseph, the husband of Mary, that is a lie. There is no J anywhere in the world. There is no Mary. The word is Mariam. There is no Joseph. There is none. That word is Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha. And the first person to bear that name, Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha, is the 11th son of Nzechi'Ka'Obu, who on his own gave birth to two sons. But before I talk about his two sons, Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha was sold into slavery, and it happens that he was sold by the people you call, they told you that their names are Ishmaelites. There is no Ishmaelites anywhere. Those people are actually the descendants of Abraham, whose name is Ishama. Ishama, who was scattered along Kogi and Iduama and Co. They ganged up and they were slave traders. They bought him. They sold him to those who live in the desert. They sold him to those who live in the desert, which actually are the descendants of North. The descendants of North. You know them. So when he was sold, they told you Potiphar bought him. But you don't know that the name Potiphar is actually one of the words that was gotten from Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha. The Ifa there is actually his name. And he got married to another girl from the desert who they call Asenat. The word is not Asenat, the word is Asenatu. And Asenatu happens to be the daughter of the priest of On. O-N. That is a lie. I will speak the truth. The word is Oni. Oni. Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha married a Yoruba woman. The priestess, which is the daughter of Oni, and he gave birth to two children. The first one, he called him. No, Ephraim is the second child. Yes, Ephraim is the second child, if I'm not mistaken. Ephraim is the second child, if I'm not mistaken. Ephraim is the second child, if I'm not mistaken. The first child is Imenam Chejo. The one they told his name is Manasseh. His name is not Manasseh, his name is Imenam Chejo. He said, for the Most High have made me forget my sorrows. He was sold into slavery, so it was sorrow to him. It was bitterness that his own brothers, whom he loved so much, sold him into slavery. So he said that Chukwu-Okike has made me forget my sorrows. Imenam Chejo, you've made me forget my sorrows. So he now gave birth to the second child and they called him Ephraim. That I have been increased beyond the sea. Chukwu-Okike has increased me beyond the sea. The one who will become so wealthy that his wealth will go beyond the sea. And you know, one funny thing about Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha's children is the fact that Nzechi'Ka'Obu loved their mother so much. So he transferred the love of their mother upon the children. And this love divided the house of Nzechi'Ka'Obu, whereby one scepter was given to him, and the other scepter was given to the house of Ileanyehe, which fell upon the fourth son of Ileanyehe. We all know him as Ehilda, the one they call Judah. I've told you severally, nobody was born Judah. There is no J in any language of the world until 1524. So when they tell you Judah, they are telling you lies. All those things are total rubbish. Total nonsense. Nobody is Judah. His name is Ehilda. Nobody is Yehuda. His name is Ehilda. The day of joyful noise. That is the meaning of his name. So, Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha, you must have heard or you must have read where Nzechi'Ka'Obu said concerning the transfer of the blessings. He said he blessed the young man in such a way that his blessing was even above every other person's blessing. They blessed him for almost 6 to 7, 8 verses of the book of Genesis, chapter 49, from verse 1. The blessing kept going and going and going and going all through. So he was blessed beyond those of his brothers. By virtue of his position, his sons received inheritance as part of Ezre'elu. When Ezre'elu will return, it is noted that the scepter of Ehilda and that of Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha will be fused together as one. When those who have been sold into captivity will return, you discover that that scepter will come together as one. Now, let me divulge a secret to humanity. You see, when you hear them say, Igodo migodo, Igodo me Igodo, it's very simple. These are two engines, two locks that must be fused together as one. The wall of Idu, that, like I told you, that the breach must be built back. The breach must be built back. And it is in the hands of Eloah to build the bridge back. And when Eloah is building that bridge back, because it's a highly exoteric stuff, building the bridge back, he will bring one igodo, which is in the hand of Ehilda, and bring the second igodo, which is in the hand of Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha. And that igodo is actually in the hand of Ephraim. Both Ehilda and Ephraim were in charge of Jerusalem. They both lived in where you call Idu. They were both in charge of the place you call Idu. That is why Idu was divided into two. One part of Idu is the descendants of Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha. The other part of Idu is now in the hand of Ehilda. Remember what they told in the Bible? They said to your tent, O Nzere'Elu, and the kingdom divided into two. You have the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Who is in the southern kingdom? The house of Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha, which is who? Ephraim, and the house of his elder brother, which you know as Ibn Nakanim. The one they told you his name is Benjamin. The people who live in the southern kingdom are actually Ephraim and Ibn Nakanim. That's truth. And that southern kingdom is the division today that we are trying to build back. And some notorious people who have invaded the land and become the so-called custodians of the land are fighting against the unification. Idu land shall be unified. It doesn't matter what any man does about it. The land of Idu, the original owners of the land of Idu, they shall come together. You can't stop it. You cannot stop it from happening. It's going to happen. Whether you are alive or you are dead, it's going to happen. So all the fight you are fighting is in vain. Nobody can stop it. The house of Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha, through Ephraim, that is found in Uroboland. The house of Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha, Ephraim, that is found in Ishakiri. The house of Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha, Ephraim, that is found in Isoko. The house of Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha, Ephraim, that is still living in small hamlets and patch, even in Idu, where you now call Ebanke. They are all scattered within the environment. They will be fused together with the house of Yehuda, where you call Mbeka Ika. Yes. When you go to Urobo, you will see the house of Ephraim, which is the house of Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha, the one you know as Joseph. They are there. They are there. And the scepter, I'm not going to tell you who is holding the scepter, who is not holding the scepter. What I'm going to tell you is that the scepter, which is one igodo, the second scepter, which is the second igodo, they shall come together. That is why Onyendu, Okuchi, or Okuchukwu told his people, so they should go to Igodomigodo to find out the relationship between Igodomigodo people and the other people. And my people do not even know what he has said. I'm telling you what he has said. So what he said to you is, go and discover how we can fuse the two doors together and it becomes one. And what is that door? It is the scepter of the house of Yehuda and the scepter of the house of Chim'Ga'Emezurum'Epha, which is the hands of Ephraim. The two scepters shall come together and it shall become one. And he says that when the scepter shall come together and become one, that Dadawide, or Dadawide, the one you know as David, his name is Dadawide. Dadawide shall be their prince, their head prince, which the Europeans say shall be their king. And we know who Dadawide is. We know where he's coming from. I've told you guys that Chialoja's children were scattered into several places. You have the Chialoja's children who are in Alo, in River State. You have the Chialoja's children who are in Omuahia, in Old Bende, Hofia, in Alai, in Ibere. You have the Chialoja's children who are even in Isialang South as Omeka, and the Chialoja's children who are in Akwa Ibom as Ikana. All these people will come together, fuse together as one. And in that place where we call Jerusalem, shall every one of us come together to fuse together, and that breach shall be rebuked. That opening, that destruction, that scattering shall come together and be fused together. Then Jerusalem shall become one. And the king in Jerusalem shall be the household of Dadawide, and we know the person. I know the person. He shall be the king in the midst of the people. He shall be the king. He's not the one that they have chosen as the prince. Say, and the prince shall come from the trigger of the gun. That prince that will come from the trigger of the gun shall fight other princes in order to install or restore the house of his forefathers. We are seeing it happening. It is happening. I'm laughing because, if I become very serious, people will say, why is he frowning his face? I'm preaching the truth to you. Not just the gospel, I'm preaching the gospel truth to you. That is true. I'm preaching it to you. The gospel truth. We will come together, fuse together. Everything will come together. Urobo will return back to the original space. Isoko will return back to his original space. Ichakiri will return back to the original space. Leibenu will return back to the original space. And all of us, even including our cousin, the one you call Esau, who is the elder brother of Chikobo, the one you call Esau in the Bible. His name is Esau and not Esau. Every one of us, as long as we are Abiam's children, Chukwukika Abiam's children, we shall return. We shall come together as one. You will see it. It will happen before your eyes. So whoever is fighting